My question is financial. If you're on a fixed income and only have enough to pay for an auto payment and insurance, then how can I give 10% of my income to God? I would not have a car because of not enough money to pay for it. Please help me understand this.
Okay, I want to commend, I think the intention behind that question is wanting to have good priorities, and I want to commend that. Anytime someone is wanting to get their priorities lined out right, I think that's absolutely awesome. So I give you many verses on tithing, but we don't have time for all that. I'll just give you a big perspective. Tithing started all the way back in Genesis. Many people think it was just in the law. It predated the law when Abraham tithed to Melchizedek. It was taught about in the law. It was referred to by the prophets. Jesus taught about it. The Apostle Paul taught about it in 1 Corinthians 8 when he said the first portion, and then it's taught about in Hebrews as well. So almost from cover to cover, the subject of tithing is covered in the Scriptures. It's not just an Old Testament concept. If you want to find a really good chapter to read to understand it, Malachi 3 would be the one chapter I would recommend. Because in Malachi 3, and this will answer the question if the one that answered that's in this service tonight, if not watching online, I pray this encourages you, that the Lord promises to bless those who tithe. There's a blessing that comes. As a matter of fact, he asked us to test him. He wants us to trust him and to test him. And so he promises to bless us, and he promises that as we test him with our finances, he'll take care of us. Now, Dawn and I had this happen early in our marriage, and we had to make a choice because we weren't going to not tithe. So the question was what was going to go away? And what went away was my car. And so we sold my car to cover some bills and to cover tuition, some other things, so that we can continue to tithe, because in those days we would reconcile the bank statement at like $2 at the end of the month. We'd reconcile at $8 or $21. That's how we were living in those days. But we weren't not going to tithe. We knew we were going to tithe because the Scripture said that you can test God and he promises to take care of your every need. And we did it. So we sold my car, bought a bike, and I rode a bike to work. I worked the evening shift, so I rode at about 3 o'clock, started working at 4 downtown. We lived in the Magnolia District, got off work at midnight, rode my bike home, went underneath that tunnel, and that was kind of scary at 1 a.m., but the Lord blessed us, and I could talk to you all night about how God has blessed us because we've tested him and we've remained faithful with tithing. So I commend the priorities, I think, that are behind the question. If you want to learn more, okay, now here's where you need to make a note. Go to a Financial Peace group. They are phenomenal. They are awesome. And the Lord will help you with finances in a Financial Peace group. And so here's the thought I would give you. Right priorities relieves pressure. So if you say that really fast, right priorities relieves pressure. Try it really, really fast.
Right priorities relieve pressure.
That wasn't very fast.
Thank you.
If you try it really, really fast and you just get faster and faster, you'll be praying in tongues. So
good. That's a whole nother question.
Yeah.